Hello everybody, good morning, welcome to another stream. So this is just an X-Plane stream today, X-Plane 10.51, Cessna 172, just going to do a flight from Biggin Hill to the Isle of Wight. Now I'm not very much a complete flight simming freak, so I'm not going to be doing routes or fuel or worrying about all that other stuff or ATC. I'm just going to get in the plane and just fly from Biggin Hill to the Isle of Wight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off from here, I'm going to head south towards the south coast of England and then fly along the coast towards the Isle of Wight. I'm just at Biggin Hill at the moment. This is my plane parked over here. I've just parked it on the grass because I started on the runway and there was a couple of AI planes that were kind of waiting for me to leave, so I've just moved out of the way just to let them do their thing. So yeah, so I'm just gonna wait for this, I think it's a Beach Baron to take off in front of me, and then if it doesn't, then I'll just go onto the runway and go anyway. But the reason I started at Biggin Hill today was because I did a flight previously and I finished it at Biggin Hill, so I thought I would start at Biggin Hill for the return flight. So the time and the weather is set to as I'm streaming, so the weather is kind of, I downloaded the weather as it is, so this is kind of, I think, roughly what the weather would be at Biggin Hill as I'm streaming, and also the time of day would be the same as well at Biggin Hill. So let's just get into the cockpit. So what I did after the stream that I did previously was I looked around on the internet and I found a really good video by a YouTube person called Frugal Sim, and he basically went through and told you how you could change the views in the cockpit so that you can kind of go around to different places. So for example, if I wanted to see what was in here, I could set up a view, or if I wanted to see these in more detail, instead of having to zoom in constantly, I could just do shortcuts. So now I've got it set up so I can go straight over to here. I can go down to there if I want to. I'll put a camera up on the up there, for example, which I thought was quite cool. And I've also got a camera set up now so that I'm like a passenger. And then I've got another one set up for here as well, so it's a lot easier for me to go to those switches and turn them on. Number 4. I'm just going to put the pitot heat on. Well, I think I might have to put the fuel pump on. I'm not really sure. Like I said, I'm not really completely kind of, what I mean is I'm sort of like, I'm not an expert simmer. I just kind of just jump into planes and like to fly around rather than kind of spend all the time with the instruments and everything else. I mean, I kind of work out roughly how things work, but I just like to view the scenery mainly and just fly around and enjoy myself rather than worrying about whether or not I should be flying into certain areas or trying to follow the rules as in you do in real life, because I think, well, you can do real life. If I want to do real life, I can, but then sometimes I just don't want to do real life and I just want to do something in an aeroplane that you can't really do in reality. I mean, for example, if I want to do a flight down the Thames, well, in reality you probably couldn't do that because you wouldn't be allowed to because of all the traffic going into Heathrow and everything else. So, you know, so sometimes I like to think, well, as a sim gives you that freedom to do things that you can't normally do, then why not do that? So that's kind of my way of thinking sometimes. So it does look like that Beach Baron isn't going to be going anywhere. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set this up to this. I don't know if that's right, but anyway, as I'm on the ground. Alright, so I'm going to set the flaps to stage 1, and I'm going to taxi out now and start my takeoff. I think it was just because I was parked on the grass there, and it's a little bit hard to get started. So I'll just go to the outside view. I'm lined up on the runway now, well, kind of, apart from the fact I'm going all over the place. So I'm just going to get back in the cockpit and off we go. You can see from this runway there's a little rise there, so I'm actually going up like up a slope. Which is kind of cool. One thing I like about X-Plane 10 is the fact that the runways aren't flat, and whereas in FSX the runways are quite flat. One thing I don't like is this annoying tyre noise. If anybody knows a way to get rid of that, that would be cool. Right, so we're just lifting off now. There's my shadow on the ground. It's nice. Also in my last video I had a lot of deer, so I worked out why I was getting deer, and it's because there was an option I ticked in the options to have animals and forest fires. So when I'm flying around in like North America, like in Alaska and places like that, then obviously you can turn that on just for a little bit more realism when you're trying to land in a bush airport type situation, and then to have some deer running across the runway. At the moment I'm now heading kind of past north, so I'm just going to turn right now and head south towards the South Downs and then head along the coast. See how it goes. Let's put the flap up now. What I'll also do is I'll turn off the lights down there. Right, so I'm just going to start heading roughly south to see where we come out. I'm just going to fly around the airfield. Right, we're just going to head about this direction, I think. Yeah, something like that. Do about 190, 200 degrees. What I'll also do in a moment is I'll sort out the autopilot, so it makes it a little bit easier for me, so it can also keep an eye on chat, etc. Just going to adjust that now. So I go down to the heading button, I can click till that little yellow dot is kind of roughly on the heading I want to go to. So about there. And then what I'll do is I'll climb to about few thousand feet or so. Well, as the cloud level, you can see the cloud base is coming down, so I might have to keep below the cloud, so I might have to level off soon and just fly at this height. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the shortcut down to here, set this to heading, set this to the current altitude, and then what I do is I set that onto auto. And then what it should do is it should, there you go, it should automatically hold me now at this heading, which is fantastic. And then it will level me off as well, so it's going to take me up to about 19. I don't think how I can adjust that. Go down a little bit, I think. I'm just going to turn this off and then I'm going to go down. So we're below the clouds again. I want to be below the cloud base, obviously, because obviously I want you guys to see the ground. Going to go down below the clouds again. That's good, so we're under the clouds, that's good. Right. What I'll do is I'm going to set this up again. Press the shortcut key, go down. Set it to auto again, and it will turn to 210 again. It should roughly keep it at that right altitude, and I can just adjust the throttle to suit. Now that'll give me some chance to get out of the plane and have a look around. So we're here. So that I think is the M25 down there. Going along. Where the wind's affecting the plane as I fly, because the plane's rocking a little bit there. Let's just go to the up view up there, which is quite a nice view. Hi Patrick Gaming 27, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. This is the passenger view. You can see there's some clouds that's coming up that we're just going to pass over the top of. Going to go back to the top view there. So this is just default X-Plane, no add-ons, nothing, just everything as you would get it if you just downloaded it and installed it. So there's no texture enhancements, no added scenery, no cloud textures changes, anything. It's the default Cessna. So I'm gonna just take it off the Biggin here. I'm heading kind of in a south southerly direction. I'm gonna head towards the coast. Once we get to the coastline, I'm gonna turn right and then head along the coast towards the Isle of Wight. I haven't looked at the weather. I don't know what the weather's like. Just gonna be flying and just enjoying, really. Been no flight planning, no fuel planning. Just basically jump in the plane and go. And that's kind of like how I kind of tend to work. Other streamers can be a little bit more, accurate with real world stuff. They will work out a plan, they will work out the fuel, they will work out, do the checklists. I kind of just tend to just jump in the plane and fly most of the time. I'm sure there's a lot of people that just are like that also. So if you're wanting to watch a stream where people kind of follow real world stuff religiously, then I'm probably not the best person to watch the stream. But if you just want to come and join me on a flight and just watch and chat in the chat, then that's cool. So we're just flying to the east of Gatwick now. Gatwick Airport is over there. Now in reality I wouldn't be able to fly where I'm flying now with all the aircraft. Like I said, I'm not really following any rules. I just want to fly, and that's what I'm doing. There's Gatwick Airport there. So I think I've got a feeling that when I hit the coast, I'm going to come out probably around Brighton, Shoreham way, probably. Just guessing by the direction I'm going and what I can see in the distance. So I reckon that I'll probably come out near Shoreham somewhere. Brighton, I think's over here, and then Shoreham's going to be kind of that direction, I think. Just go outside again. Here's the M23 motorway there, and then we'll probably see the London to Brighton line soon as well, and you'll probably see that because you'll notice there's some trains going along on the tracks. Now these trains are just look like American freight trains and all sorts of things, but that's okay. It's kind of nice just being able to see a train along the ground because it's so high up anyway, you can't really tell what it is. So this would be Crawley here, town of Crawley. And I think this would be something like Copthorne, probably. And then like 3 bridges, Maiden Bower, etc. I think there's the London to Brighton line here. And then I can see where the lines come off there, which is the line that goes into Crawley and Horsham, etc. We're just flying over. This is the M23 below us. Then at some point the M23 goes over the London to Brighton line, which I believe is here. The London to Brighton line, I think, is down there. We might see a train. There's Ardingly Reservoir over there. There's a tunnel there, which I think is Balkan Tunnel. And the line will come out somewhere. Not a bad day today weather-wise. Hello Charlie, how are you doing? Welcome aboard. You can sit here, Charlie, if you like. You can sit in the back seat behind me and enjoy the view. As we fly over the southern England in X-plane. Yeah, that's right, Charlie. I kind of not only want to do train sim, but I also do like flight sims. So I will be doing some streams of X-Plane 10 from time to time, and also flight sim FSX as well. FSX Steam Edition. Yeah, it is. I picked this up in a Steam sale last week. On offer. X-Plane 11 is around the corner, so that's probably one reason why it was on sale as well. But I hadn't actually I'd tried X-Plane 10 a long time ago when it had just come out, and I tried the demo version. But it didn't seem to like my graphics card very much. But over time, obviously, they've updated it, and now it runs really nicely. I mean, my graphics card isn't high end these days, and it runs really nice. So it's quite smooth, and I've got most of the settings turned up as well, and it's lovely. Yeah, X-Plane 11. Yeah, it's coming out before Christmas. So what they do now is that. On the X-Plane website or Aerosoft, if you buy a copy of X-Plane 10 now, you will get X-Plane 11 for free, basically. You'll get a key to it. Now that doesn't apply to the Steam edition though, which is what I've got, but as it was only like £10, I thought I'd get it. So I just wanted to see what it was like anyway. You can see it's getting a little bit cloudier now as we head towards the coast. Yeah, well, I'm a bit of a plane and a train freak. I like both. So I kind of like planes and trains. So that's one reason why. So what I'll be doing, for example, in the future with FSX is I'll be using the default 737. I thought I would do little flights, not very long flights, but just hour long, hour 5 minutes. So I want to base myself at airports around the UK and just do flights around the UK and any other place that's up to about an hour and a half away from Gatwick or places like that. So for example, places like Mallorca, or Palma or Barcelona, or places in southern France or Brussels, maybe at Geneva, just things like that really, Scotland. But the way that I like to do flight simming is like if I get a 737, I don't really have a PNDG one, just because it's a little bit not complicated for me, but I just like to get in a plane and fly it, so I just want to kind of just do that really. Right, so from what I can see now, Shoreham Airport is over here. So I'm going to be hitting the coast at about a town on the south coast called Worthing, probably. There's the River Adar here. Brighton will be over there. And Shoreham Airport is over there. It's kind of cool that even with the default, because of the way that they've used the data for like the street mapping and stuff, you can kind of get a sense of where you are, especially if you know the area. The fact that I can just look out the window and I can go, well, okay, that's Shoreham over there and Brighton's over there, that's kind of quite cool. I mean, you can do the same with FSX, but it's a little bit harder to do with the out of the box FSX. Kind of have to start getting the add-ons that use the street map data, like the Vorbex Vector product, or something like Flight One's Ultimate Terrain Europe. Then you can kind of do the same kind of thing where you can fly around and look at the rivers and see how the rivers are and work out by the way the land classes where you are. Well, good luck with the studying. My speedometer, so I'm doing about 110 knots at the moment. That's the time currently, which is 11:30 Zulu time, I believe. But as UK is on the same time zone as Zulu time at the moment, that's why it's showing 11:30 there too. There's my altimeter, so at the moment that's how high I am off the ground. Yeah. Once again, this is just the default Cessna that comes with X-Plane, so yeah, I know it's kind of wrong flying with registration for America, but I'll have to look at some repaints of this with UK liveries and things. I'm kind of liking the way that the clouds are being depicted as well down on these levels. Kind of nice. Might have to descend a little bit shortly, although it does seem quite clear over this direction. what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to change my heading slightly, and then the plane should follow that heading. Just going to turn that direction. Clouds in Spanish just like that. That's kind of cool. Yeah, so there's Shoreham Airport down there. There's Shoreham Harbour, and then right in the distance over there is Brighton Marina and Brighton and Hove, etc. So down here is the in front of me now is the town of Worthing, etc. It depends on you really, Charlie, to be honest. Really just depends on the person. I mean, I've kind of liked flight sims for a long time, ever since I was like I don't know, 10, 11 years old. That's when I first started to play on flight simulators on my home computer back in the mid-80s. So then over time I've watched them evolve and get more realistic. But they all kind of work on the same principle. You kind of get a joystick and you pull the joystick back and you go up, push it forward and you go down, and you turn the joystick left and you go left, and then you just have to kind of maintain that with the speed, and that's kind of like how I've sort of like thought about it really. Like I said, it'll probably be good to pick up something like FSX and the Sail. Try it out, do some of the tutorials, just see how it goes, and then if you basically don't really enjoy it, then, well, if you pick it up in the Sail, you might get it for, you know, less than €10, so you might just think, well, what could you have spent €10 on that you would have wasted as well? I mean, you could have gone out for a drink and had a few drinks at a bar or something, or gone and seen a movie at a cinema. So, you know, that's kind of like how I think about it, to be honest. But yeah, so we're just flying over Worthing now. So obviously this isn't exactly how Worthing would look in real life. This is just an approximation. So they've taken data from the roads and the streets, and then they add houses to it. Now those houses won't be houses that look like the real houses that are there, but it's just to give you a, you know, it's just to give you, when you're flying, the idea of that there's something on the ground, and there's roads and there's cars and trucks and trains and things. Like at the moment we're going over the Brighton to Portsmouth line, and as you can see there's a train there going along the line. Right, so I'm just going to go back into the cockpit and turn a little bit more now so we go along the coast a little bit more. Just turn to about there, I think. Just head along a little bit. So over here is the town of Littlehampton. That's the River Arun there. And then over here is the town of Arundel. And in reality there's a castle here as well. It's quite a nice area. Now this is very local to me now, so this is kind of my local area in the United Kingdom, where I was brought up and lived for most of my life. And then over here we have Selsey Bill, Pagham Harbour, So we're heading along the coast now towards Portsmouth and the Isle of Wight now. Just going to turn just a little bit more to the right. Like that. The weather's changing a little bit as well. Let's go to my other view. Yeah, there's Little Hampton. Of course, not all my flights are going to be like this, because this is only because I really know this area quite well, so I know the towns, I know the name of the rivers. There will be flights I'll be doing, but I won't really have a clue where I'm flying over. There'll be a river, but I won't really know what it's called, and you know. Just looking to see if there's any trains going along the distance. Can't see any. The bus. Notice the bus down there. Yeah. Now just flying alongside a town in West Sussex called Bognor Regis. Go to the passenger view again. Back up here. Goodwood, there's Chichester, the city of Chichester here. Then there's Goodwood Aerodrome is over there. There's Hayling Island over here. Actually, that's not Hayling Island, that's Horney Island, I think. Oh no, that might be Horney Island. Actually, thinking about it. I think that's Hayling Island, and then that's Horney Island. Gonna head towards Selseyville, which is here, the town of Selsey also here. This is Pagham Nature Reserve. A lot of birds and things go here. It's kind of a very big bird sanctuary. It's a protected area for birds. And it was, well, I can't see nothing anymore. The weather closed in fast. I need to go down a little bit, I think. I'm just going to turn right, and then what I'll do is I'm just going to descend. Oh, actually, no, that's okay. Looks like we're alright for now. So that's cool. I'm also going to go down, we don't have to anymore. Back down in the cloud again, so I might have to just descend a little bit, I think. I'm just going to descend. I'm descending at around 500 feet a minute. If we can go down, there you go. I'll do is I'll now set that up. I'm just going to go back to here. That one. Just turn on the autopilot again, and then we'll go back up. There you go. Turn on to the same correct heading again, and then stay at this height now. There's the town of Selsey. So the Isle of Wight is starting to come into view over here now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fly towards Portsmouth, and then once we get to Portsmouth I'll then turn and head towards the Isle of Wight. What I might do is I might carry on along the coast, fly towards near Southampton, and then from Southampton go across to the Isle of Wight. I think that might be more fun. So I'm doing this without looking at any maps or any charts. I'm just doing this based on kind of my area that I live in and what I kind of know, what's in my head. The plane's moving around a little bit more, probably because it's getting more gustier, and also the clouds getting lower. There's Thorney Island over there, and then this is Hayden Island here. Speed down there. see it fluctuating a lot. See where we're hitting the wind. It's bumping around a little bit. Portsmouth over here, Portsmouth Harbour, and we have Gosport over there. That would be Southsea Common down there. Then there'd be Southsea. There'd be a pleasure beach here down here with roller coasters and things, and there'd be a hovercraft terminal as well. The hovercraft that goes over to the Isle of Wight over there. Which I think it's Southsea Common is over here. Actually, thinking about it, top of my head. Then you have like dockyard and things like that. Like I said, this isn't a true representation of what the ground actually is, but I think the roads are, but then they just put in generic buildings to the roads. So I mean, there'd be a lot of office buildings and all sorts of things, and ships in the harbour and things like that. So, yeah, this is Southsea Common here, and this would be where the place would be, the hovercraft terminal here, and then over here you would have Portsmouth Harbour Station around there. So when you do the Portsmouth Direct Line train sim, then you're kind of starting over there, then your train goes round in here, and then Portsmouth and Southsea Station is kind of in there. Yeah, that would be Portsmouth Harbour Railway Station, I think. Looking at that. line, that tower would be sticking up around here, Spinnaker Tower. We're just heading down the Solent now. This is called the Solent. And then you have Southampton Water, which is over here. All the big liners, all the big tankers, container ships that are going Southampton docks will go down here to that channel over there. Hi Shalimar too, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Hello, how are you? How are you doing? Hope you're having a good Sunday. This is Leon Solent airfield, like an airbase. That's over there. Just going to fly by. I'm just going to go and turn to the left a little bit more. Turn to the right, I mean. Head about 300, and then we'll start heading towards Southampton. And once we get to Southampton, I'll turn and head back over the water towards the Isle of Wight over here. For those of you that might have Train Simulator and have the Isle of Wight train line, well, that is the Isle of Wight over here. So that is where that line is. Hi, thank you, Shalimar. Yeah, well, I'm just a little bit of I wouldn't call myself an expert flight simmer. I'm kind of not into what's the word? Jumping into a PMD type plane and spending quite a while getting it all ready and then going online to look at routes and doing all that stuff. I'm kind of more like, well, I just want to kind of go into a simulator, sort of get into a plane and then just sort of fly around in it, sort of thing. I'm blessed. What do you mean, who's Charlie? Charlie's there, chatting. So let's go back to the top view. Yeah, there's Leon Solent. I'm just going to move the camera along a little bit. Front window. Yeah, there's Leon Solent down there. When's trains? Probably do something with trains in a bit later, bless. Just doing a flight along the south coast of England at the moment. I'm heading towards Southampton and then I'm going to land on the Isle of Wight. And then I'm going to end the stream and then I'll do another stream later, probably with train simming. Gonna just change my course a little bit more to that one, like so. Right. So there's a big oil terminal here called Oil Terminal. So a lot of the tankers will come here to unload their fuel. There's a big oil refinery here, and then all the big container container ships in Southampton and all the big liners, they carry on going down here, and then they'll tend to park up down this area. And also Southampton's quite well known because that was where the Titanic sailed on its voyage before hitting the iceberg. Checking my speed. So Southampton Airport is going to be over there. This is the River Test over there, and hovercrafts are manufactured in a building along here as well. So hovercrafts are made for like different armies around the world. No worries, Charlie. Take care. Yeah, this is all just basically default X-Plane, no add-ons, just out of the box X-Plane really. I installed X-Plane a few days ago, and so I've just been testing it out. I'm kind of quite impressed with it so far, and I haven't got any add-ons or anything yet. Camera view a little bit. Have a look down there. Hey, check that out, that bag moved. Look at that, the bag even moves, basically depending on what the plane's doing. I didn't notice that before, that's kind of cool. That's weird. A moving bag. So we're just getting towards Southampton now. This is the city of Southampton. All the liners, cruise liners will dock around here. And then this is the container port over here. All the big container ships normally will go here. There's Southampton Airport over there. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to start to turn left now and head towards the Isle of Wight now. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go back into normal mode, select the heading. We're going to fly about that direction. See how that goes. Need to turn a little bit more. Let's turn to about 200, 190, something like that. There we go. So Shalimar, do you like flight simming in general? Do you have any flight sims, and if so, which ones do you like to use, and what sort of planes do you like to fly? There's Lymington over there. You've got Lymington Harbour. Then you have Yarmouth, the Isle of Wight, almost directly opposite, and you get car ferries that go from here over to Yarmouth on the Isle of Wight over there. I think that's Lymington over there. Now flying over the Isle of Wight. Cool. Nice. So you've got like a bit of everything really, then, haven't you? You've got the DCS there and Rise and Flight and yeah. Start to turn to the left now. We'll start heading towards the airfield that I'm going to be landing at today in this flight. We'll turn to about 150. Along the coast a little bit. No, I'm not a real world pilot. No, not at all. When I fly, I just tend to like to jump in a plane and fly. I'm not sort of very good at doing all the real world stuff. You know, the fuel planning or the weight planning or all that sort of stuff. This flight that I'm doing today is just basically through local knowledge in my head. So I'm doing a flight where I kind of know where I'm going, so it might look like I'm kind of cool, but it's only because I know the area, so I can sort of know roughly in my head where I am. Once we go to other areas where I don't know, then obviously it's going to be a bit more harder. But no, I don't fly in the real world. friend of mine has a PPL, and I've sometimes gone up with on flights with him. So, and apart from that, and doing trips in an airliner as a passenger, that's probably about the only flying I ever do. Basically what happened was a few days ago I noticed that this was on sale on Steam. Now I hadn't had X-Plane before. I'd played it as a demo, but I hadn't really got into X-Plane that much, and so I downloaded it, and I just thought I'd do some streams and flights of it. So this is basically X-Plane as you would get it today if you downloaded it and installed it. So there's no add-ons. It's just everything is default scenery, default planes, default everything really. So I just wanted to see what it was like. I downloaded X-Plane 10 a long time ago when it was released as a demo, and it didn't really like my graphics card very much. I turned the details on, not even high details, and it was quite slow and jerky and stuttery, and so I hadn't really touched it since, but then I'd you know, that was quite a while ago, and it has been updated quite a few times since. But it seems to perform quite nicely now, which is great. So, for example, you know, I haven't set the altimeter up correctly, most likely, and when I get to the airport that I'm going to be landing at, the airfield, I probably won't know which direction I'm supposed to be landing at, so I'm just going to land on the airport, on the runway that I think I should be landing at, if you get what I mean. I'm not really into serious simming. I'm kind of more into simply simming, where I might do a 737 flight and just get into the 737 and just go, right, okay, and then just go to the Flight SimX flight planner and just say, well, I want to do a route between these two places, and then kind of do that. So whereas other people will want to load up that do like real routes, whereas I'll do the route as Flight Sim sees the route, if you get what I mean. So that's kind of like how I am. Yeah, that's right, Shalimar, but this was on sale and it cost me £10. So I thought £10 was a good price for me just to try it out. And yeah, I know that I didn't get 11, but I did really want to spend £40–50 on buying the other version of 10 just to get 11 now. So I'll wait and see what happens, basically. The only reason I bought it through Steam was, like I said, it was on sale really cheap, so that's why I got it. And I knew when I got it from Steam that I wouldn't have the 11 for free, but that was why. Because they had it on sale. X-Plane 10 was on sale about a week or two ago for the Halloween sale on Steam, and it was very cheap, so that's why I got it. I wouldn't have got it from Steam at the full price if I knew that I could go to Aerosoft or the X-Plane website and get it from them for the same price, but then get a free upgrade to 11. So that's kind of how it was really. I thought for the money, yeah, it's not the latest version, or it won't be the latest version, but I thought for £10 there's far worse that I could spend £10 on. So I thought, why not? I mean, I've got FSX Steam Edition. I've got the original version of FSX. I've got Paired 3D. Although for my streams I'll just be streaming FSX Steam Edition, so I'm starting with the basic game with no add-ons, and then over time I will add the add-ons on as well, just to show people the differences of what happens when you get a version of FSX and add things to it. And I'll do the same with this probably. Get things, add them, and then say, well, this is, you know, so then people can go back to these videos and see what it was like originally before I'd actually kind of added stuff. The people will be quite shocked, obviously, when they compare, when they see FSX and they look at now, when they see someone's video in FSX today with all the add-ons. It's a lot of difference. But FSX Steam Edition can be in a sale really cheap. So I think FSX is quite a good thing for people to get, I think, to have a mess around with, because of the community as well. And the fact that so many add-ons and freeware and all sorts of things out there for them, for both X-Plane and FSX. I mean, X-Plane just gets more and more popular as time gets on. So right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the autopilot in a sec. I had on. Just going to go down to here, turn it off. Right. So go back to the plane and then we'll start hand flying it now. Then I have to locate the airfield that I'm going to be landing at. So I'm just going by what I know in my head where roughly it is. So I could be looking at the wrong place. But hopefully I won't be. Now I know there's two airfields on the Isle of Wight. One of them is more of a private airfield, I believe, which is I think over here. And then the other one is a general airfield that's open to all. There you go, there's the other airfield. And like I said, my knowledge in the head's doing quite well, I think. I'm just going to do a quick overflight of the airfield and then I'll decide which way I'm going to land. That's kind of how I work sometimes. With FSX it's a little bit easier because I know in FSX I can just press a button and an ATC window comes up and then I can select the airport and then listen to the ATIS and things like that. But I haven't still worked that out how to do that in X-Plane yet. Like I said, I've only had it a couple of days, but I'll pick things up and then as you'll see over time, you'll see the way that I fly in X-Plane will be a lot different. But I'm just thinking in my head that it's this time of year in the UK that a lot of the weather comes, from the west towards the east. So I've got a feeling that I'll probably be landing on the runway that's facing to the south, I think. Although I'm not completely sure. What I'll do also now is I'll switch on my landing light down here, like that. So yeah, we're just flying over the airfield now. Once again, this is just the version of the airfield that you can get as part of the install for X-Plane. I haven't changed that. It's not an add-on as far as I'm aware. Obviously, it's probably changed a lot since the original airfield, because I think X-Plane have a user submission area where people can edit the sceneries, and then they'll get added to the next installer that goes out. But I believe the version of X-Plane I have now is the last version of X-Plane 10, and then it won't be updated anymore, from what I know, or from what I read. I'm just going to fly it down and see if I can pick up anything that can tell me which way I'm supposed to be landing. Very hard to see actually. But I'm probably going to land on this runway, so I'm going to come round and then land that direction. That's what I'm going to do. Whether or not that's the right thing, I don't know, but that's what I'm going to do anyway. That's how I roll. But it does feel quite blustery up here, I can tell by the way the plane's rocking around. Yeah, there's a windsock down there. Unfortunately, I can't really see it. So. But I'm going to start slowing down now, and then I'll start to lower the flaps. This is what my passenger would see. They're probably a bit scared now. They've realised that the person flying the plane doesn't really know what he's doing. Right, and I'm going to start turning now, and then I'll do my approach. Fingers crossed, everybody, that nothing bad happens to me. This is going to be my second land in the next plane now. First was in my stream yesterday. Right, put the right, so the flaps are down now. Oh, and now my passengers, my dog passengers, are now barking in excitement, I guess. Okay, see, I haven't set my altimeter properly as well, because right now it says that I'm at 0. So that was another thing I haven't done, like I said. Right then, so we're now just turning on to approach, and I'm a little bit high. But that's alright. Just watching my speed. I'm coming in quite high, but that's okay. As long as you kind of control it, I think. As you can see, this airport has grass strips. Right, let's turn the landing lights off and then put the taxi lights on. I'm just going to park over here by that street light. Right then, so remember which button it is. Is it that one? What? Oh, okay. Let's turn these all off then. Dunk, 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 dunk. Right, that's that. And then we'll turn those off. Yes. And turn the battery off. I can. Yes. So I think that's that. And then you can just open the door like so. And then we can open that door like so. Well, let me just go outside. And that's kind of it, I guess. So that's it for this stream. Thank you very much, guys, for joining me, and yeah, please give a hopefully it was all right for you guys, and you enjoyed it. So about the sun net shining in. I'm just gonna shut down the blind. So yeah, I mean, I'm not all about serious simming, but I do kind of enjoy flight simming, but I kind of just tend to like to get in a plane and fly around rather than really get into the complex stuff.